Question 2 is a bit puzzling because when we gave a quiz in class, all of you could more or less do this, but now virtually none of you could. Okay, and actually the whole level struggled with this problem. Oops, sorry, I moved the whole thing. Okay, let's have a look. It really isn't too bad. The main thing is that now we've got A and B, parts A and B. I've not written it here, but part A, as you can look from the question paper, is the small cone below. Part B is the top part. But if you've heard me in question 1, I say that you never compare parts like that. You always compare the whole shape. So there's a cone here, small cone, which I call number 1, and the big cone, which is number 2. What are the heights? H and 3h. So the question says here is 2h, bottom part is h. Okay, so I'm going to compare the whole big figure. So I have, and don't ever, just start off with this. We are comparing area, and since we're comparing area, base areas, we write it in this way. Okay, A1 over A2 is L1 over L2 squared. There's no way around this. You have to practice and remember this. Okay, so we have the two heights, h and 3h. Now, many of you put h and 3h. Oh, the h's cancel out, so it's 1 over 3, the whole thing squared. So it's 1 squared, which is 1, and then it's 3 squared, which is 9. So this works out to 1 over 9. So the ratio A1 to A2 is 1:9. Okay, which is, and we are talking about this shaded area here, A2, so 1:9, and that is what the question wants. Okay, so that's area. Note, we need the square. Next, we move on to part B, which is volume, and in volume, it's L1 over L2, this time cube. Okay, so 1 over 3 cube instead of a square. 1 cube is 1, 3 cube is 27. So V1, V2 is 1:27. Okay, take note, I'm not really even referring back to the diagram. What this tells me is that small cone to big cone, 1:27. So if I actually may add in a little point down here, okay, choose another color. We're saying small cone is 1. Okay, I'll write it down here. And the big cone is 27, but if the big cone is 27, then this part must be 1 because that's a small cone, and the top part must be 26. So now we compare A and B. A is the lower part, B is the top part, and we can see that the ratio is 1:26. Okay. Part C is now applying this idea. They're saying that the whole cone has a volume of 54 cm3. Now the whole cone is 26 plus 1, that's 27 units. 27 units is 54 cm3. Therefore, we want to find only part B, which is the top part. So that's 26 units only. So I take 54 divided by 27 times 26. That gets me 52. Oh, I have forgotten my units. cm3. Okay, so that rounds off question 2. Not that difficult after all. What are the key points here? You must know this and this. You don't know it, there's no way you can do the question. After that, knowing this formula, you have to know to compare the whole shape. Not the parts, compare the whole shape. And even if they want parts, after you compare the whole shape, then you break it down into the parts using ratios and just dividing by the number of units. Okay, and that runs off question number 2.